Welcome to our channel Examine the BDS. I am Dr. Dinesh. Today I am going to speak something related to war. We know all about war's terrible conditions, tactics and tear gas. But what about the dental care? Rewind 100 years and the Battle of Somme would have just drawn to a close on November 18, 1916. For 141 days, soldiers had suffered the worst that modern warfare could deliver. Bombardment, chemical weapons, failed advances, and a level of casualties no one could have anticipated. Dentistry, granted, is not a topic that often comes up when discussing World War I, but the poor state of working class mouths, no dental care for most of them, and the difficulties that the very basic army food presented made the all consuming pain of acute toothache all too common. So, what were the soldiers eating? Military leaders have long noted that armies marched on their stomachs, so the 1914 British Army Command was well aware of the significance of rations to its men. Difficulties in the Crimean War, where more soldiers had been admitted to the hospital from scurvy than from battle wounds, had prompted a series of army dietary reforms over the second half of the 19th century. And the nutritional science had also helped to shape the provisioning of the army, although the emphasis on energy values to the exclusion of other considerations resulted in a diet that, high in calories, was often lacking in variety, difficult to consume, and somewhat indigestible. In the summer of 1914, the army provided the same level of feeding for all, but soon found this unsustainable, and a series of adjustments followed, reserving the best rations for those in the front line. Those in the reserve and in the training camps at home received considerably less. The fighting man's calorie quota was on a par with that of the modern British Army, although contemporary ration packs offer a level of variety unimagined by those serving a century earlier. Actual rations met the official description, and the cooks were of a decent standard. All went relatively well, as relatively static war meant that the delivery of rations was usually reliable. At times of advance or retreat, the long supply chains could be interrupted, but most of the time the complex set of movements from base supply depots to the front was sustained. If you are a British soldier serving on the front line in 1917, your rations contained 1 pound of meat, 1 pound of bread, 10 ounces of biscuit, 4 ounces of bacon, 2 ounces of cheese, 8 ounces of fresh vegetables, tea, and 3 ounces of jam and 3 ounces of sugar. This may look like a pretty good diet, but the army sought to deliver the greatest number of calories in the easiest manner, and that often meant tinned rather than fresh food. Many cartoonists and writers have made jokes about biscuits, but it was no laughing matter. Many of the working and lower middle class soldiers had very poor teeth, the result of too much sugar and too little dentistry. The army was reluctant to pay for dentists, and when the British Expeditionary Force travelled to France in 1914, not one dentist accompanied them. It was only when General Douglas Haig developed excruciating toothache at height of the Battle of Aisne in October of that year that the cost of their absence was realized. No one was able to treat Haig, and he was forced to await a French dental surgeon from Paris. Haig subsequently contacted the War Office to request the recruitment of army dentists, and then 12 dentists arrived in November, and a further 8 by the end of 1914. Dentistry very much mattered. In the theatre of war, losing a set of false teeth effectively rendered the soldier useless because the conditions at the front didn't allow for a soft diet for toothless men. Colonel Cope wrote home to his wife that one man had a self-inflicted wound, and to make more certain his escape from the front line, he had thrown away his false teeth because he knew that men who lost their teeth were sent to base. From this, we learn that emphasis should be done on variety rather than calories. And we have also come to understand the importance of a dentist and proper dental care during warfare. This topic ends here. Let's see today's bonus fact. Our body has enough iron to make a nail of 3 inches long, and most of the iron is in the blood. If you like this video, share and subscribe our channel. Thanks for watching.